Alright, we have another pen and ink drawing practice number 3. This is going to be a nice quick little practice. It is inspired by the pen and ink drawing workbook by Alfonso Dunn. And so to get started, what we're going to need is a drawing paper or just a regular piece of paper, a ruler, and a pen, of course. I'm going to make 3 boxes going across my paper, and I'm going to make each box 3/4 of an inch wide. And then 5 boxes going down the paper, and again, each box 3/4 of an inch wide. And I'm going to keep them 1/4 of an inch apart, but you can decide on the measurements you want to use for all those boxes. I do find though that when you're first practicing a skill, like this pen and ink hatching and cross hatching, that it will be easier to keep your boxes smaller. Larger boxes require more work. And it's always good to label whatever you're working on in your sketchbook. Pen and ink practice number 3, we're working on our cross-hatching stroke variations. And then I also like to date it, because then later you can look back and be like, look what I was doing on this date. And it's just easier to find if ever you need to find it. Alright, so along the side there, write size, spacing, layers, direction, and weight. That again is size, spacing, layers, direction, and weight. Along the bottom, draw an arrow facing right and write increase on it. And we're ready to get started. Grab a pen, and the first thing we're going to do is in the first box labeled size, we're going to do the cross hatching, the smallest that we would want to do it. And then when we get to the middle box, we'll do a medium-sized cross hatching. And then on the far right-hand side box, you're going to do the largest of your 3 cross hatchings. Now for spacing, the lines on the left box will be as close as you can make them. The lines in the middle box will be medium distance. And the lines on the far right side will be the cross hatching with the most amount of space between the lines. I realized later that I did this layers section, I think a little backwards. I did the most amount of layers in this far left box. I did 3 layers of lines in the far left box. And then I did 2 layers of lines in the middle box. And then just 1 layer of lines in the farthest right box. But with our arrow at the bottom saying increase and pointing to the right, I think I did mine a little backwards. But I won't hold it against you if you follow right along with me, and I won't hold it against you if you completely disagree with how I did it. So whatever you feel is best right here. For the direction section, in the first box, I'm going to do the typical cross-hatching that I have been doing with my vertical lines, and then the diagonal lines starting on the left upper box and headed to the right lower box. And then the next one, I will do the diagonal line starting up left and going down right, but then I'm going to do the opposite for my cross hatching. I'm going to do the diagonal line starting upper right and going down to left. And then for the last one, I'm going to switch the direction again. I'm going to put in vertical lines that are stemming the whole box, and then horizontal lines. In the weight section, we will try to make these lines feel like they are heavier or lighter. It's easier if you have different size pens, like I'm using a thinner pen here in this first box on the left. I'll use a medium size pen in the middle box, and then I will use a thick brush pen on the right hand side. But if you do not have different pens, then just try pressing harder for the darker one on the right, and try light on the left, and a medium pressure in the middle. Well, that concludes our practice for today. I hope you enjoyed following along with me. During our next practice time, we will look at using the shading on different forms. So I hope you will tune in again soon. Thank you so much.